Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Well, welcome all of you to our commencement. This is the first of 8 separate commencement ceremonies for our class of 2007, with a total of 4,800 graduates. But today our focus is only on 82 very, very special graduates of the College of Creative Studies. This constitutes 1.7% of the total. So small is beautiful. The college was established in 1967, so this fall we will celebrate the 40th anniversary of the College of Creative Studies. The college was created for especially gifted students like yourselves who are independent-minded and full of intellectual curiosity, as your parents may well aware since your birth. You came here because of your desire to pursue an intensive course of study through a personalized learning experience. You have been active participants in your own education. In other words, you do what you enjoy doing and you know what you're doing. That education does not stop today. It will continue for the rest of our lives. Okay, now in the middle of a speech, but I would like to do something important. That is to acknowledge people. Please be patient with me. Now, first I would acknowledge Executive Vice Chancellor Jean Lucas. Would you stand? Yeah. Associate Vice Chancellor for Diversity, Equity, and Academic Policy, Maria Herrera Sobek. Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs, Michael Young. Vice Chancellor for Institutional Advancement, John Wyman. Former Provost of College of Creative Studies and Professor Emeritus of French and Italian, William Ashby. Associate Vice Chancellor for Academic Programs, Ron Tobin. Associate Vice Chancellor for Public Affairs, Paul DeRusso. And I would also like to acknowledge our faculty members and lecturers and instructors. Dr. Carolyn Allen Little. Dr. Maribel Bueno Cachadina, mathematics. Dr. David Connell. Dr. Peter Capello. Dr. Dennis Clay. Dr. Dan Connolly. Dr. Richard Corum. Dr. Linda Ekstrom. Dr. Kathy Foltz. Dr. Jeremy Haladina. Dr. Leslie Hogan. Dr. Armin Curis. Dr. Leroy Leverman. Dr. Shirley Lim. Dr. Jane Mofinger. Mr. Hank Pitcher. Dr. Harry Reese. Dr. Barry Spacks. Dr. Claudia Tyler. Dr. Robert Warner, Dr. John Wilson, Dr. Ian Ross, Dr. Jeffrey Stupple, Dr. Dan Smith, and I would also like to acknowledge our dedicated staff members, Leslie Campbell, Karen Poirier, Frank Bauman, Dan Hornslet, Emily Parsons, and Mark David Wholesale. We would also like to welcome our special guest at the class of 1977 CCS biology graduate, Dr. Marlene Zook. We are very honored to have her as our speaker today. So now I'll do another thank you. I want to especially thank our CCS ambassadors and the donors for your generosity. I would like to thank our distinguished faculty for you being so dedicated to our students. I would like to once more thank our staff members for your support and caring, take such good care of our students. And I would like to also thank our accomplished alumni. You are such good role models for our students to follow and to succeed. Last but not least, I would like to thank our family members and the friends and our parents of our graduates for your support and encouragement over the years. Each of you has fond memories and special stories to tell. Let's thank our parents, please. Now, to our graduates, you have accomplished so much during your time here. You have worked very hard, sometimes for the degree, and sometimes even just driven by your sheer curiosity. Today, you have earned your degree, and some of you may even have over-earned it. Congratulations. During your years here, you have demonstrated qualities that have told us just how truly special you are. And we have appreciated your imagination, your dedication, your intelligence, and your imagination. And sometimes your wild imagination. And sometimes Professor Armin Curie is even called weird imagination. You have been here during a period of extraordinary accomplishment and recognitions for UC Santa Barbara. We are one of the only 62 members of the prestigious Association of American Universities. This distinction places UC Santa Barbara among the top 2% of all universities in the United States and Canada. During the past decade, 5 of our active faculty members have won Nobel Prizes. That's a record. There have been so many other distinguished faculty honors. For example, let me just give one example. Professor Louis Liao was awarded the National Humanities Medal 10 years ago. This year, he's still doing research. This year, we will celebrate his 100th birthday. Pioneering work that cuts across the disciplines has truly become the hallmark of research at UC Santa Barbara. You know this very well because on this campus, undergraduates are very involved in original research and, of course, creative studies. Through the degrees that you are about to receive, we recognize the success that you have achieved in your particular fields of study. We also acknowledge that you have met the standards, the rigor, and the discipline required by the University of California. I can tell you with confidence that starting today and for the rest of your lives, you will always be proud to say that you are a UC Santa Barbara graduate. Let's give them applause for that. By the way, just observation, I see you dressed so well today. I remember 10 years ago, you came barefoot and some wear shorts. It's just a tremendous transformation. I now have the honor of introducing Dr. Bruce Tiffany, the energetic and the dedicated dean of our College of Creative Studies. I just want to say one more thing. We appreciate his unconditional passion and long-standing devotion to the college, to our campus, and most of all, to our undergraduate students. Please welcome Bruce Tiffany.
Good morning. And welcome to the 39th graduation of the College of Creative Studies. It is my pleasure to welcome parents, family, friends, alumni, students, colleagues to this ceremony, and particularly the guests of honor, the degree candidates, the class of 2007. The Chancellor refers to the fact that there is an unwritten dress code to graduation, which classically has been, unlike most graduations, that the students are not supposed to appear up in gowns. But you notice that a few are, and that is in the spirit of CCS, that even if it's an unwritten code, you break it. And by the way, I saw at least one pair of sandals go by, and I think there's a pair of shorts back there, but we'll check later. We're here to mark the achievements of the graduates in this ceremony. And before I give my little address, let me remind you that afterwards there'll be a reception out front, and we also invite you to come back to the physical space in which many of these achievements have been recognized, the College of Creative Studies, where, among other things, there is a senior exhibit of art of those members of the art group who are on the stage in the CCS Art Gallery. Okay. I have a few words to say upon this occasion. Vegan lead, Santalacious, vouchsafe, perspicacious. Why these? These are some that Dumbledore might have chosen upon a similar occasion in his beloved Hogwarts. Let us use this particular analogy of your generation, one that reflects the school that is CCS, for CCS is also a magical place. When you received your letter from CCS 4 long years ago, or in the case of some of those who joined us as sophomores or juniors 2 to 3 years ago, you were getting a letter from your Hogwarts. You were more fortunate than Harry, for it was this letter that Harry's uncle was willing to do all kinds of absurd things to prevent Harry from receiving. And for good reason, because that letter meant that you had a particular kind of magic of your own that we at CCS felt could be nurtured. It also meant that you were a threat, and to agree with Armin Kuris, that you were not normal. I had the great pleasure of having dinner 2 Sundays ago with the students in the CCS dormitory, largely freshmen, and one of the themes that came consistently forward from that was a sense of they had always felt a little out of place before they came here, and that they had suddenly encountered individuals who had the same kind of passion, drive, and focus that they did. One way or another, squeezing down the chimney or breaking down that door, the letter reached you, and you reached CCS. And again, you reached CCS because we felt that you had that magic. But, like many, you needed to learn how to hone it, how to control it, how to decide when and where it was to be employed. The magic lay within you, but its effective use, its variety, its breadth, its imagination, these powers were still growing in you then, as in fact they continue to grow in you now and will, if you are truly CCS, throughout the rest of your life. You needed the spells, the different knowledge of wordsmithing, color manipulation, the capture of tone, the craft of the laboratory, the mixing of potions, the skills of communication and thought developed through discussions and arguments with your contemporaries. And indeed, again, to emphasize here at Hogwarts, you found your true contemporaries. You mixed and gained knowledge with history and tales of caution from your mentors, some of whom were of your own generation, many of whom were a little bit older, some of whom were getting a little gray around the corners. The grayer ones are important also because without knowledge of the past, without context, your spells and techniques can swing you like a tail of a comet, out of focus and out of meaning, or you emit slugs in place of words with every breath unintentionally. So you're here to learn to speak the spells correctly and with the knowledge of their power and possibilities, and this you have done. You have done it in such a manner that you've learned to speak them with the right pronunciation and most of all with conviction. This is one of the things about CCS students. They are passionate. In one sense, we wish the last of these, conviction and passion, did not matter. We wish that conviction and passion were a natural thing arising, as it were, from the rightness of a cause. After all, a hippogriff will not bow to uncertainty. But it's not so easy as that. Passion alone is not enough. Passion alone makes demagogues. That is the joy of CCS students. Passion with empathy, with breadth of personal borrowed experience from others, with depth of specific knowledge, that makes a difference. It is the true development of entheos, the God within. But with you as a trained and experienced conduit of that inner God, a conduit that chooses from knowledge. So please continue to learn, speak your spells with conviction, and learn new ones throughout your life with the powers that you have gained at Hogwarts, or okay, CCS. Do it with meaning, do it with conviction, aware of all of the many roots of the words and the needs they must address. Get the pronunciation right, speak with all of your ability and heart for the sake of things magical and real, imagined and corporeal, that here survives and will survive in this species of feisty, difficult, hairless ape that is us. Upon this beleaguered planet, our current home. Grow these powers as long as you draw breath and give them and us life. Each year, the College of Creative Studies invites a distinguished alumna or alumna to address the graduating class. This year's speaker is Marlene Zook, Professor of Biology and Associate Vice Provost for Faculty Equity and Diversity at UC Riverside. She received her Bachelor of Arts in Biology from CCS in 1977 and subsequently earned a master's degree and a PhD at the University of Michigan, graduating in 1986. Marlene is interested in the evolution of behavior, a subject with many possibilities. Her research centers on sexual selection and the effects of parasites on mate choice and the evolution of secondary sex characteristics. She's also generally interested in the influence of parasites on host ecology and behavior. Uh-oh, this starts to sound like a biology lecture. Currently, Marlene has two projects underway. First, she is examining the effects of conflicting sexual selection pressures on song structure in a Pacific field cricket. And she is also beginning work on the evolution of disease resistance in the context of sexual selection. As described, these topics sound esoteric, and they have won her many awards. However, Marlene is a true CCS person because she has bridged the gap from the lab to the public in two well-received books: Sexual Selections, What We Can and Cannot Learn About Sex from Animals, described by one reviewer as a witty and provocative survey of sex in the animal kingdom. And this year she has just published one, the title of which in its own right is enough to excite interest: Riddled with Life, Friendly Worms, Ladybug Sex, and the Parasites That Make Us Who We Are. And with that, please welcome to the podium Professor Marlene Zook.
Thank you, and good morning, Chancellor Yang, EVC Lucas, Dean Tiffany, faculty, parents, family, friends, and the class of 2007. Congratulations on your graduation, and thank you for giving me the honor to be a part of it. One of the things that I most treasured about my education at CCS is its emphasis on creativity and on what's important, not on requirements or rules or grades, but on discovery. And people sometimes asked me about this and thought it was strange to have creativity at the forefront of fields like chemistry or mathematics. But you and I know that devotion in all fields is fueled by passion and excitement at finding out something new. Yet that idea that discovery is essential to the human endeavor, and particularly that it's what a university is all about, isn't actually particularly widely accepted, and it's increasingly under attack from public and government sectors. So what I want to do very briefly now is to remind us all, maybe even particularly those of you who are parents and friends of the graduates, about what it is that happens at a university. And I'm going to share something with you that, in a slightly different form, was published in the Los Angeles Times a while back. So imagine yourself as a professor, but stop. Back away from the test tube, slowly. Turn off the DNA sequencer and no one needs to get hurt. Come out of the lab with your hands up and get back in the classroom where you belong. Public enthusiasm for university professors doing research as part of their more apparent job of teaching undergraduates seems to have hit a new low. Editorials calling for University of California faculty to focus more on teaching are a constant in newspapers, and articles also appear every week admonishing state legislators for condoning so-called pork projects, spendthrift boondoggles of academic inquiry that are generally defined by whatever topic the writer happens to find ridiculous, ranging from grape genetics to jazz. The implication is that if university faculty stopped doing research, and particularly if we stopped asking for tax-supported funding for it, we could focus on what really counts, namely the education of America's children to be the leaders of tomorrow. As a professor of biology, I'm all for educating said children, although I would note that they are sometimes oddly unmotivated to receive the lessons. My question is, what exactly would you like me to teach them, and where am I supposed to get the material? Most people never stop to think about where the information in textbooks and lectures comes from. Many years ago, after I finished my bachelor's degree here at CCS, I was living in Santa Barbara and teaching remedial introductory chemistry before going to graduate school. And a freshman in one of my sections named Doug loped up to me while I was walking across campus. "Hey," he said, "how much does my chem professor make?" I said I wasn't sure, but even at the time had the inkling that although it was a reasonable way to make a living, being a university faculty member was hardly likely to make one rich. Why did he want to know? Because, man, this guy has it good. In high school, my teachers all had 5 classes a day, 5 days a week. The professor, he just teaches 3 days a week for an hour and gets paid full time. How sweet is that? You know, it's always a shame to discourage someone from going into an academic career, but I felt compelled to disabuse Doug of his illusions. Leaving aside that preparing for 3 lectures a week itself requires no small amount of work, I told him that teaching isn't all the chemistry professor does. He spends a lot of his time doing research. Doug looked blank. "What's that?" "Well, you know that you got your chemistry textbook?" He nodded. "How do you think all that stuff got in there?" Another blank look. "It didn't get in there, it simply was there, perpetual, immutable, like the stars in the heavens or the nagging of his mother." I explained that all of the information in his text came from someone, somewhere, finding things out, doing experiments, putting them together with the results of other people's work, and eventually developing this body of knowledge that was currently the bane of his existence. The information in textbooks was always changing because new research reveals new discoveries and leads to new conclusions. Research itself is time-consuming. Leads are painstakingly followed. Sometimes they lead to dead ends, and sometimes they're more productive. Well, Doug, either because of my remarks or not, soon lost interest in academia as the ideal slacker's career. He actually fixated on becoming a physician instead, a goal I never found out if he attained. But let's go back to my question of what to teach if research is halted. I mean, okay, you envision a moratorium on new discoveries so that we just stop, maybe this year, maybe next, and we just keep teaching what we already know over and over again. No new discoveries, we don't need to update lectures. Maybe that 3-hour work week isn't as far-fetched as I thought. And you know, I could always rely on the research of the last several centuries. You know, at least I wouldn't have to teach that everything in the universe is made of earth, air, water, and fire, or that a wandering uterus makes women mentally unstable, or that gastric ulcers are caused by stress rather than by bacteria. All ideas that were overturned by new research. Well, wait, you know, you say, nobody's arguing for a cessation of research, just a rebalancing of who does it. University professors should, well, profess, and other people could make the discoveries. The taxpayers are paying good money to get their children educated, not to allow ivory tower dilettantes to indulge their pet ideas. But who are these other people? Certainly, a great deal of research is done in privately or publicly funded institutes where no undergraduates can be found. But such research is more likely to be product-driven with a goal of curing a disease or sequencing a set of genes. The so-called basic research, what's sometimes called discovery science, largely takes place in the halls and labs of academe, between appointments with students and meetings of the curriculum committee. Its practical outcome is not always clear-cut, but it forms the foundation of every type of knowledge application. This kind of pure research has always been done, but in the days before universities were widespread, people had to fund it either through their own fortunes or by acquiring patrons, wealthy people who paid for research at the whim of their interest. Charles Darwin was able to pursue his interest in the origin of biological diversity, at least in part because he married his cousin Emma Wedgwood, part of the Wedgwood China dynasty, which is something to think about next time you take out the good dinnerware. Returning to this system would automatically make research less democratic and far less diverse, as not all people from all backgrounds have access to either personal fortunes or well-to-do friends. And the sheer reduction in numbers of people able to make discoveries would impede progress in finding the answers to, as Garrison Keillor's radio character Guy Noir puts it, life's persistent questions. What about the pork? I've always thought that pork was in the eyes of the beholder. Imagine that you're a congressperson asked to recommend funding for a project that will use very detailed x-rays to determine whether a certain kind of acid molecule has a shape that curves with two halves made of four components that always occur in two types of pairs with each other. Do the two parts of the molecule run parallel or anti-parallel in opposite directions? The researchers claimed this structure has novel features which are of considerable biological interest. Does this sound really ho-hum and trivial and a real waste of the taxpayers' money? Congratulations. You just vetoed work on the structure of DNA. James Watson and Francis Crick used that sentence to begin their historic report on the discovery of a lifetime. Now, I know that already most or all of you realize that basic research is important, but it's something that I think CCS brings to the forefront better than most. And so I'm asking you, the class of 2007, as you continue in your careers, to make sure that everybody else realizes it too. Congratulations again, and best of luck.
Thank you, Marlene. And indeed, Marlene has spoken directly to the creative in College of Creative Studies to make anew. It is the tradition of the college to ask three students who have spent their time at the college producing anew, creating, to speak for the college and the graduating class. Let me first introduce Catherine Elizabeth Blaschke, BS in Biochemistry. Catherine is a native of Southern California, attending Cuesta Community College before transferring to UCSB as a junior in biochemistry. She immediately plunged into research with Professor Dennis Clegg, and with the support of a CCS Summer Undergraduate Research Fellowship, was the first undergraduate to work in the newly established UCSB Stem Cell Laboratory. She has established herself as a central member of this research team, pursuing research on retinal pigment epithelium cells derived from human embryonic stem cells. She is a recipient of the Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry's 2005-2006 American Chemical Society Analytical Chemistry Award. She's also the recipient of a second award, which I shall leave till a little bit later because we will single her out for this. Next fall, she will enter the PhD program at the University of California, San Francisco, where she hopes to continue research in regenerative medicine. She loves problem solving and hopes someday to translate her research into treatments or cures for people suffering from disease. Catherine.
I transferred into UCSB as a junior from community college, and the first quarter I was here, I attended a symposium in chemistry and biochemistry led by Professor Leroy Laberman. Once a week for about an hour, a senior would come in and tell the class about their research project and plans for graduate school. I remember sitting in that class in awe of the accomplishments of these College of Creative students. I remember wondering how I, a junior, was going to magically transform into one of these accomplished seniors in about a year and a half. It seemed like a pretty daunting task. First of all, I think I came to creative studies for different reasons than most students do. Many students come to CCS because they already know what they want to do and can't wait to start doing it. They have internships or AP credits or exceptional training and talent in their area of expertise. I graduated high school with 0 AP credits and thought I wanted to be a psychology major. It took me 2 years at community college to figure out that I hated psychology and loved chemistry. And even though the majority of my classes at community college were in math and science, when I transferred here as a junior, I still wound up being in the same math class with CCS freshmen. No, I didn't come to CCS because I was ahead in life. I came because I was trying to catch up. You know that saying, fake it until you make it? Up until maybe last quarter or so, most of the time I felt like I was faking being a successful college student and hoping no one would notice the difference. I always felt like my grades had to be better than B's. They had to be A+. I had better work in a lab and apply for fellowships and grants and show people once and for all, really prove to them that I deserve to be here. My first quarter here, I took physical chemistry without having had a single quarter of physics. In the first discussion section, the TA wrote up a review of material she said we should know for the course. And I remember having a sinking feeling in my stomach because it looked like a foreign language to me. I must have looked uncomfortable because at one point, the TA looked at me and asked me if I understood the material. And not knowing what to do, I forced a smile and lied, telling her, "Of course I've seen this before. It's just a review." After class, I made a beeline for the library and buried my nose in the first couple intro chapters in the textbook. And from that point on, I studied as hard as I could in that class. I ended up getting an A in the class and went on to get A's in many other classes I took without the prerequisites. And that is what CCS is all about. It's not about starting out as a great student and just maintaining the usual good grades for 4 years by taking classes you know you will ace. CCS is more than that. It's about taking whatever skills or talents you start out with and constantly building on them and improving yourself every day. CCS faculty expect great things of students, and CCS students expect great things of themselves, and sometimes that can be daunting at first. But in the end, I think they trust that our passion for learning will win out against all the obstacles, and we will wind up exactly as they predicted, exceptional leaders in our fields. Another cornerstone of CCS philosophy is that while you can learn a lot from classes, nothing can substitute for hands-on experience. Thus, I was encouraged to join a research lab the first quarter I got here. I went to a seminar on undergraduate research opportunities and saw Dr. Dennis Clegg speak about his biology lab. After the seminar, I told him I wanted to work in his lab. To this day, I'm not sure what made him decide to take a chance on a community college transfer with no lab experience who hadn't even taken introductory biology. But he said yes, and he set me up to work with a terrific mentor, Dr. Sherry Hikita, on a project studying the pro-inflammatory role of the protein osteopontin in glaucoma. During my junior year, I dissected mice and ran assays and learned so much more than I ever could have in the classroom. It was hard work, and sometimes when my experiments had gone wrong or I had had a particularly long day, I would contemplate quitting. Thankfully, I never let myself give in to the temptation of giving up and settling for the easy road. Instead of quitting, I worked harder, and that summer, the new stem cell lab was just getting established here at UCSB by Dr. Clegg, and I received a summer research fellowship from CCS to work there. I became the first undergraduate here at UCSB to work with human embryonic stem cells. I received another UCSB undergraduate research grant to fund my current project studying stem cell-derived retinal pigment epithelium cells, which could eventually be used to treat macular degeneration, a leading cause of blindness among elderly. I also received the Chancellor's Award for Excellence in Undergraduate Research. I never could have imagined in my wildest dreams that I would be doing stem cell research during my time here at UCSB. CCS's dedication to undergraduate research is one of its best qualities. I learned that I love working in the lab and want to continue doing it in graduate school. Thanks to CCS and Dr. Clegg, I got into all my top choice graduate schools, and this fall, I will be starting the PhD program in biomedical science at the University of California, San Francisco. CCS has given me so many opportunities to make my college education about more than just getting a degree. It has been about testing my limits and trying new things and discovering what I want to do in life after I graduate. Some of us are going on to graduate school, some of us are joining the workforce, and in true CCS form, I'm sure some of us will do truly unique things that I can't even imagine. But whatever we end up doing, we have the best jobs in the world. We are paid to indulge our creativity and satisfy our curiosities and stoke that fiery passion we have for a subject. And waking up in the morning and getting to do what you love is about as good as it gets. As we take our first steps into the real world, I hope we never lose that passion we have found here at CCS. I hope we never learn to settle for mediocrity. Who knows, the future could be better than we've ever imagined.
Thank you, Catherine. Our second speaker is Dina E. A. Druis, Bachelor of Arts in Literature. Dina was born to parents who were musicians in Folsom, a town made famous by a musician. But it was a different art that interested Dina. By the time she was in high school, she was already writing. Indeed, as a senior in high school, she won a $1,000 prize in a Kaplan Newsweek My Turn essay competition, and her essay was selected for publication. She also knew that she wanted to learn from the great writers and to work with other students who were similarly passionate about literature and writing. Notice that recurrence of word passion. This led her to CCS, and now 3 years later, in a short piece about herself, she wrote, "I have taken what I could learn from the CCS faculty and students, and I don't think that an undergraduate experience elsewhere could have better prepared me for what I hope will be a lifetime of creative studies." What she didn't write is that she gave as much as she took. She's been a marvelous student, graduating with a 3.92 GPA, and having served as one of 3 editors of the award-winning UCSB literary magazine, Spectrum, which this year celebrates its 50th anniversary. After she completes a BA in France next fall, she will be applying to MFA programs and go on writing. Dina.
Family and friends, congratulations are in order. After sending your student off to classes in the cluster of sherbet-colored buildings that is the College of Creative Studies, you're getting a sleeker, shinier, smarter, faster, funnier, better model of the person you sent here a few years ago. Well, I take that back. We may or may not be sleeker or shinier. As you'll notice, your student may have chosen to grow dreadlocks, or rather forgotten to brush his or her hair for a month straight. Dreadlocks happen. There's also a strong possibility that your student has tar balls on his or her feet that no amount of baby oil will remove, no matter how hard you try, and you should expect to see oily footprints on your shower floor in about a week. Almost all of us smell at least a little bit like the lagoon, but don't worry, you'll get used to the smell and may even grow to like it. Now, you may think that some of us have picked up these traits as literature majors and aspiring writers, that mediocre hygiene is something we have mistaken for artistic integrity. But this is all an illusion. Really, it's because of the poet John Milton. I swear. Read the 12 Books of Paradise Lost, and by the end, you'll smell funny too. Your hair will be in knots, and your feet will be inexplicably dirty. As far as being smarter and funnier, well, in a way, that's also not technically, quantitatively true. I'm almost positive that I would score lower on the SATs if I took them tomorrow than when I took them in high school. But please don't get me wrong, I don't mean to imply that I've somehow gotten dumber. I'm just a little lopsided. To put it bluntly, and with all due respect to my math and science colleagues here today, math has all but evaporated from my system. But that was partly intentional. Like most of my peers in the literature program, I just wanted to read and write, and CCS seemed like the perfect place to do just that. When I actually got here, though, it wasn't what I imagined it would be. In the outside world, you hear these crazy rumors about CCS, like we have class on the beach and hold hands and recite poetry. Okay, maybe that's not a crazy rumor. But you hear things like it's just one big psychedelic trip while reading Shakespeare. And okay, maybe that's only a rumor for some of us. But it seems like there's this general consensus that we don't do much here at the College of Creative Studies compared to real college students. I want to go on record today, though, saying that that is lies. That is all lies. Okay, maybe not all lies. I'm sure that in the history of CCS, there have been students who do just enough to get by. But that's the thing. For the most part, you don't just get by. Maybe it's something they put in the water, but before you even realize that you're working harder than you have to, you've learned things, and then you want to keep on learning more, and by that point, well, say goodbye to learning by osmosis. You're in for it now. That's how it happened to me. I remember going to my first literature class, which happened to be on Marcel Proust, and realizing that not only was it pronounced Proust and not Proust, but that I wasn't the shining star in my AP English class anymore. I was in a room full of all the smartest kids in class. And I became, for the first time, self-conscious about opening my mouth and having something stupid fall out. But even so, it didn't take long to figure out that with the academic freedom of CCS, I could still just read and write and get by. That's the thing, though. As my last year comes to an end, I know that something happened along the way that made me want to do more. I remember having my first story that I ever wrote ripped apart in Shirley's class my freshman year, and it was the best thing that could have happened to me, because it showed me that who knew writing is hard work. Then somewhere between the faculty and the students, the reading and the writing, my need to keep up dissolved into the desire to learn. The feeling of getting it became a hunger. I needed to write and to hear that what I wrote was bad, so I would know how to make it better. I wanted the challenge, to know again and again the way it feels to grow. And that's what CCS has taught me, how to be hungry, how to take what is around me and to make myself grow, how to nurture the seed of creativity that is there that we sometimes neglect as we get older. But creativity matters. Creating new things matters. It is the propeller for progress, what keeps us wanting more. I want to thank the people who have never told me how to do this but did their best to show me. Shirley Lim, for all the time she puts into her students because it really makes a difference. For all the swift kicks in the butt and all the pizza. Dick Coram, for giving me the boxing gloves with which to fight patriarchy and the dominant, and by boxing gloves I mean the metaphorical, non-violent kind. I mean all the lectures on emergent discourses and the starter kit for changing the way I think. John Wilson, for always picking good reading and making me do lots of it. Leslie Campbell, for being hands down the nicest woman I've ever met. Aaron, for understanding. And of course, my parents for smiling when I told them I wanted to be a writer. So family and friends, enjoy today with your CCS graduate. They may be a little smellier than when you sent them here and wear t-shirts that say things like pros before hoes, but bear with them. They are very clever people. To put it in the words of Oscar Wilde, they are so clever that sometimes you won't understand a single word of what they are saying. But perhaps most importantly, they are better equipped to create, to move forward. It is the hands pushing against the walls of what we know that makes the world too grow. And at the end of our time here at CCS, we have been given the opportunity so that someday, some of those hands may be ours. Congratulations, class of 2007.
Thank you, Dina. Our third speaker is Samuel Ellsworth Galley, Bachelor of Arts, Biology. Sam has a combined passion for things marine, research, and medicine. He has worked at the Friday Harbor Laboratories in Washington studying fish vision ecology on a scholarship from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. At UCSB, he has conducted research in the laboratory of Professor Craig Carlson, working on various aspects of marine microbial ecology. He has also been the president of the Health Professions Association at UCSB, substantially revitalizing and reorganizing this important student group. He has volunteered over 800 hours in local hospitals. He has served as a tutor in organic chemistry and then in his spare time played alto sax in the campus jazz ensembles and is also a member of the UCSB soccer club team. I particularly, and the faculty and staff of CCS, appreciate his unstinting willingness to come and join us to talk with potential new students at regional receptions and also visiting students and their families at the college. In his 4 years, he has accumulated many awards, culminating most recently in being elected to Phi Beta Kappa. He will attend the MD program at the University of California, Irvine, in fall 2007, and his positive energy and enthusiasm is going to be greatly missed. Sam.
Thank you, Dean Tiffany. So let me just start by saying how happy I am to be here, surrounded by our friends, families, and mentors as we, the graduates of UC Santa Barbara, go through our final collegiate rite of passage. I'd like to begin with a quote from Benjamin Franklin, who once inspired me to the goal of achieving to the best of my ability. Very simply, Franklin wrote, "Dost thou love life? Then do not squander time, for that is the stuff that life is made of." And it was with that mentality that I began my college career. 4 years ago, I never would have thought, and I never would have even imagined, that the amazing endeavors that we here have accomplished. The College of Creative Studies has everything from talented musicians to sculptors to inquisitive biologists and physicists. Quite the gamut of intellectuals considering the small size of any particular class. Which brings me to an interesting question. How did all these students choose the College of Creative Studies? Very purely, I believe that the College of Creative Studies is about opening doors. When I first came to CCS, for example, I was given a personal faculty advisor, Dr. Kathy Foltz, who helped me find courses and eventually a number of other educational pursuits, which I imagine is much like everyone else's experience here. In addition, with this PhD level guidance, I was able to make the very important transition from helping a graduate student with their research, the typical fare for undergrads, to performing my own research from questions developed by a professor and myself. This is exactly the transition that Dr. Marlene just mentioned before, a transition from a consumer to a producer of knowledge, a transition that would not have been possible without the College of Creative Studies, and one that I believe every student that you see up here and those who haven't graduated have gone through. In fact, this is the defining distinction from which CCS gets its name of Creative Studies. Unfortunately, it's a common misnomer that Creative Studies in CCS only means artistic. In fact, this very morning when I was putting on my gown, one of my friends asked me, "I thought only the College of Creative Studies was going today." And then she said, "But you're a biology major, right?" So I had to explain to her that this creative refers to both the artistic and the creation of knowledge, which everyone up here has done. Every student on this stage actively participated in the creation of knowledge from art to literature to chemistry to computer science. And we can see that from these incredibly strong students that want to learn perhaps beyond what they even imagined. Now, there's truly something to be said about this college where every single student has not one but multiple amazing accomplishments. On a final note, I would like to take the time to give credit where some is most certainly due. First off, my parents, little brother, extended family, cousins, uncles, and aunts who have supported me at every step along the way. My girlfriend, who has been amazingly supportive over the past 4 years while I've worked towards my own personal goals. And finally, to all the mentors, advisors, and friends that help guide me through every aspect of college, from which classes to take to which career to embrace. This applies threefold or even more to my personal faculty advisor, Dr. Kathy Foltz. I would like to end now with another quote, which I think is temporally and culturally relevant given our graduation from the University of California and our current involvement in Iraq, lack of sustainable social security system, and the most expensive healthcare program on the planet. It comes from Nelson Mandela, who once said, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world." With that, I encourage everyone here to use their creative education to change the world for the benefit of humanity. Congratulations, class of 2007.
Thank you, Sam. Chancellor.
Well, thanks again to Catherine, Dina, and Sam. Let's give them all applause. Thank them for that. Each year, the college features original compositions by our talented music students. Dean Tiffany will now introduce them.
Thank you, Chancellor Yang. We have 3 brief performances today. The first is a piece by graduating senior Dana Bienenfeld, authored "You Are My Life" from her opera People of the Sun. It is performed by Christine Hollinger, a graduate voice major, with Jeremy Heraldina of our faculty at the piano. Graduating senior Bobby Halverson has composed Under the Pillows, one of a set of 4 bagatelles for solo piano. It is here performed by Jeremy Haladina. CCS music has, among other, yeah, right, it's CCS graduation. The CCS music major has, among other major attributes, that about every 2 to 3 years, the program gets together and writes, composes, and produces a new musical. In 2006, the CCS musical was titled Love Struck. And we now give you a single number from that musical, composed by graduating senior Layla Minui, with lyrics by Jessica Flightman, and performed by Andrew Paget and Alex Kellner. The outtake, A Très Bonne Affaire. By the way, a full edition of Love Struck will be resumed later this month on UCTV. It will be broadcast repeatedly on the Dish Network so that you can catch up with the full performance.
Thank you, Dean Tiffany, and thanks to Jeremy Haladina, to Leslie Hogan, and to all our music composition graduates and our performers for your wonderful work. Let's give them all. Each year, awards for excellence in undergraduate research are made to a graduating senior with distinction as an undergraduate researcher. I take great pleasure in presenting this year's Chancellor's Award for Excellence in Undergraduate Research to Catherine Elizabeth Blaschke. Catherine is receiving her BS degree in biochemistry from CCS this year. And congratulations, Catherine. And now, the moment we are waiting for, the presentation of degrees. The degrees conferred by the University of California attest to scholastic achievement and represent the university's fulfillment of its primary responsibility. In the College of Creative Studies, we award the Bachelor of Arts or the Bachelor of Science degrees. Will the candidates for the degrees please rise? By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Regents of the University of California, I confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts and a Bachelor of Science as appropriate. Will each of the candidates please come forward by rows when Dean Tiffany calls your name? Please be seated.
I will be reading the names and the accomplishments of each in turn. And may I suggest that while I recognize there is immense enthusiasm out there in that audience, that you make your applause brief so that your applause does not obscure the reading of the name and accomplishments of the next student. Thank you. And with that, Emily Heather Yasuko Maples, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science. Jeffrey Otto Pauls, Bachelor of Science, Mathematics. Elizabeth Marie Bacon, Bachelor of Science, Chemistry, recipient of the DeWolf Fellowship, Roche Bioscience Award, UCRA Grant, and Surf Carter Fellowships. Christina Barbara Tiara Fuller, Bachelor of Arts, Art in Painting, minor in Art History, who will be attending the University of California, Santa Cruz Science Illustration Certificate Program. Claire Marie Rollins, Bachelor of Arts Literature, recipient of the Richardson Poetry Prize. Ryan Colin Alpers, Bachelor of Arts Literature. Ryan Casey Anderson, Bachelor of Arts Music Composition, Regent Scholar, Co-Chair of the Environmental Affairs Board, and will be serving as the Executive Assistant to the CEO of Environmental Media Group in Montecito. Lisa Aiko Asanuma, Bachelor of Arts Literature. Hutch Thomas Axelrod, Bachelor of Arts in Art, specifically Book Arts, UC High Honors, Jefferson Scholarship, and Santa Barbara Foundation Scholar. Jennifer Elizabeth Bamberg, Bachelor of Arts, Literature, minor in Women's Studies. Carson Alexis Benowitz Fredericks, Bachelor of Arts, Literature. Dana Lauren Binnenfeld, Bachelor of Arts, Music Composition. Catherine Elizabeth Blaschke, Bachelor of Science, Biochemistry, Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry, winner of the American Chemical Society Division of Analytical Chemistry, CCS SURF Fellowship, UCSB Undergraduate and Creative Activities Award, Chancellor's Award for Excellence, and attending the University of California, San Francisco. Mira Butterworth, Bachelor of Arts, Literature. Pamela Suan D. Capelad, Bachelor of Arts, Literature, Regent Scholar. Anna Marie Kathleen Coniglio, Bachelor of Arts, Literature, minor Art History. Kimberly Diane Cordova, Bachelor of Arts, Art and Painting, minor Art History. Randall Chase Cota, Bachelor of Arts, Physics, distinction in the major, Arden Nordsiak Memorial Physics Award, UCSB Regent Scholar, SURF recipient, that's Summer Undergraduate Research Fellowship, NSF Graduate Fellowship, and will be attending Stanford University Physics. Randy. Eric Andre Davalos, Bachelor of Science, Biochemistry, Pfizer Academic and Industrial Relations Minority Summer Research Fellowship, UCSB Undergraduate Research and Creative Studies Grant, and will be attending Stanford University School of Medicine. Jeffrey Michael Flanagan, Bachelor of Science, Mathematics, and Bachelor of Science, Physics. Physics Department, highest academic honors, Outstanding Senior Award in Physics, and will be attending Caltech. Samuel Ellsworth Galley, Bachelor of Arts, Biology, Noah Hollings Scholarship in 2005-07, President of the Health Professions Association, Phi Beta Kappa. Sayward Elizabeth Holling, Bachelor of Arts, Biology, RISE participant, a research for experience for undergraduate recipient. Sayward. Robert Keishan Halverson, Bachelor of Arts, Music Composition. Ashley Shea Hennig, Bachelor of Arts, Physics, minor Earth Science. Winner of the C. Douglas Woodhouse Award in Earth Science given to the outstanding Earth Science undergraduate. UCSB highest honors, will be attending the Scripps Institution of Oceanography at UCSD. Julie Victoria Hopper, Bachelor of Arts, Biology. Summer Undergraduate Research Fund, Worcester Grant Award, Research Experience for Undergraduate Award, Nyanza Project, Western Society of Naturalists Award for Best Science Talk. She'll be working in New Zealand on a marine parasite project after she graduates. Amy Ashley Hunt, Bachelor of Arts in Literature. Even Marine Kierkutsnitsa, Bachelor of Science, Physics, LNS Dean's Honor Roll, SURF recipient for 2006. Sophia Danielle Kirschner, Bachelor of Arts, Literature, minor Global Peace and Security. She won the Keith E. Vineyard Honorary Scholarship for Short Stories in 2007. Brianna Rachel Lee, Bachelor of Science, Chemistry and Biochemistry. She will be attending the University of California, Irvine in Biochemistry, Molecular Biology, and Genetics. David Akibo Lurie, Bachelor of Science, Mathematics, and Bachelor of Science, Physics. Double major in Mathematics and Physics. Good on you. Caitlin Brooke McCrae, Bachelor of Arts, Literature, and Bachelor of Arts, Art, Book Arts, double major. Recipient of the Gail Burkus Memorial Fellowship for Printmaking, she will be attending the California College of the Arts. Mark McCartan Lim, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science. Cassandra Violet Wolken McGrath, Bachelor of Arts in Literature, minor in Spanish. Won the Brancart Fiction Prize Award in 2007, the 2005 Corwin Award for full-length original screenplay, second place. And she will be attending the Gravetz Graduate School of Education for single subject master's degree. Kathleen Blaine McLaughlin, Bachelor of Arts, Biology, minor in Spanish. Nathan Cameron Miller Ryder, Bachelor of Science, Physics, Surf Fellowship, Regent Scholar, and UC Honors. Leila Minui, Bachelor of Arts, Music Composition, winner of the Corwin Competition, Large Ensemble Division, third prize, and will be attending the University of Southern California. Steve Hugh Matthew Mission, Bachelor of Science, Physics. Margaret Jean Muldoon, Bachelor of Arts, Art, Painting. Robert Ray Ogla, Bachelor of Arts, Literature. Allison Rose Osterman, Bachelor of Arts, Literature, and Bachelor of Arts, Film and Media Studies. Dual college enrollment, highest honors, distinction in the Film and Media Studies major, editor-in-chief in the of the Film and Media Studies scholarly journal, Focus. Michael Robert Pacquiao, Bachelor of Arts, Literature, winner of the CCS Pocket Money Creative Writing Award, an undergraduate research grant recipient. Terry Patrick Peterson, Bachelor of Arts, Art, Sculpture, award of a Promising Artist Achievement, and accepted for UC Davis MFA program. Meredith Marie Pond, Bachelor of Arts, Literature. Nubila Rawi, Bachelor of Arts, Biology. Matthew Earl Wallace Reed, Bachelor of Science, Physics, Physics Academic Honors. Jesse Pascal Rhodes, Bachelor of Arts, Literature. Elisa Faye Roberts, Bachelor of Arts, Literature. Jeremy Marshall Rose, Bachelor of Arts, Biology, SURF recipient in 2006, will be attending Oregon State University for a PhD. Samuel Benjamin Rosenthal, Bachelor of Arts, Literature, and Bachelor of Arts, Physics. Distinction in the major, Phi Beta Kappa Physics Academic Honors, will be attending Johns Hopkins University. Simon Rubenstein Salcedo, Bachelor of Science, Mathematics, minor in Music. Raymond L. Winder Foundation Book Award, completed 170 upper division units in mathematics at UCSB. By the way, it's 48's the norm. 124 of these at the graduate level with a 3.82 GPA. Yes, I'm boasting on his behalf. He will be attending Stanford University in the fall. Shane Michael Ryerson, Bachelor of Science, Mathematics, will be attending UC Irvine in the fall. Jared Andrew Schmidt-Henner, Bachelor of Science, Physics, UC Highest Honors, Physics Research Honors, Research Scholar, Regents Scholar, National Society of Collegiate Scholars, will be attending the University of Wisconsin-Madison in the fall. Daniela Paraguaya Schoenberger, Bachelor of Arts, Literature, minor Women's Studies. William Dole Memorial Award Scholarship, highest awarded recipient of the Santa Barbara Foundation of Creative Writing Scholarship, recipient of the Jefferson Scholars Endowment Scholarship. Edward Simon Sechel, Bachelor of Science, Mathematics. Naomi Clara Solomon, Bachelor of Arts, Literature, minor Spanish, Regent Scholar, Education Abroad Program in Spain for fall 2005. Chelsea Renee Sutton, Bachelor of Arts, Literature, Corwin Award in Playwriting 2005, Corwin Award in Playwriting, Honorable Mention 2006, Isabella Price Memorial Scholarship. And by the way, here's a chance where I get to break into the procedure just briefly. Between Pamela Kaplan, Naomi Solomon, and Chelsea Sutton have been the primary motivators behind a very active play, performing, and writing group in CCS. We shall miss them when they are gone. Douglas William Thrift, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science. Rematas Gediminas Vigalis, Bachelor of Arts, Literature. Ilona Beth Wenokur, Bachelor of Arts, Literature. Kian Christopher Wilcox, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science. Alan Charles Wood, Bachelor of Arts, Biology, winner of the Worcester Fellowship, and also a research experience for undergraduates. Erica Zora Wrightson, Bachelor of Arts, Literature, winner of the Jeannie Anderson Memorial Fund Research Creative Projects Awards, Certificate of Merit from the University of KwaZulu-Natal in Durban, South Africa for creative writing, and the recipient of the Nancy Harvey Grant for project research in Cape Town, South Africa. Alexandra Ann Brown, Bachelor of Arts, Literature, and Bachelor of Arts, Psychology. Oriana Connolly, Bachelor of Arts, Literature. She'll be attending the fifth-year theater program at UCSC, an exclusive program that accepts only 8 to 10 applicants per year. Hi there, my boy. Victor Manuel Frankel, Bachelor of Arts, Biology, Academic Affairs Chair, UCSB Environmental Affairs Board, UCSB Shoreline Preservation Board, CCS Summer Undergraduate Research Fellowship recipient, Associated Students Grant for Undergraduate Research, and a winner of the Menon Watson Award Challenge to produce a series of research that you can look at a poster about out front. He will be interning at the Smithsonian Tropical Research Institute. Monica Deanna Guzman, Bachelor of Science, Mathematics. Abigail Lauren Horn, Bachelor of Arts, Physics. Max David Kitaj, Bachelor of Arts, Biology, minor in Philosophy. Anne Tran, Bachelor of Arts, Literature. She'll be working for the AmeriCorps program after graduation. Dina In A. Druis, Bachelor of Arts, Literature. Elaine Lee Madsen, Bachelor of Arts, Literature.
Well, congratulations to each and every one of us. Let's give all of us our celebration. Yeah, please join us for the reception outside of Campbell Hall. Congratulations again.